Hello guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the top 5 holiday smartphones and the best of 2018. So, sorry I couldn't post videos, I was very sick and now I'm better and I will be posting daily content to catch up. And without further ado, let's get right into the video, but don't forget that this is just my opinion and what I think is the best, okay? Starting with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. The Galaxy Note 9 improves upon the Note 8 with a Bluetooth S Pen with more internal capacity and a RAM. It has a massive 4000 milliamp battery and it also has a dual rear cameras with some software intelligence. It also rocks with an enhanced audio capability and new placement of the rear fingerprint scanner. So the new Bluetooth S Pen is an excellent innovation that is sure to please all of the Note fans with the additional remote control functionality. The Samsung Galaxy Note 9 continues to have all of the excellent Galaxy Foundation aspects, such as high level of the water resistance, fast wiring, wireless charging, a stunning Super AMOLED screen, and an expandable micro SD storage. It also has the 3.5mm headset jack, which is really convenient for a lot of people, and much more. Since it has been out for a few months, you can find great deals on the Note 9 for $900 and also $100 less than the launch price. So the launch price is actually $1,000. And with a large capacity, the micro SD card can actually bump your phone up to a 1 terabyte amount of space, which is really a lot, right? Next is the Google Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL. While the Galaxy Note 9 offers just about everything you want, software updates are not its specialty. If you want an Android phone that will always have the latest firmware and security updates while also offering a fairly stock experience, then nothing beats the new Google Pixel 3 and 3 XL. These two phones are the exact same except for the overall size and battery capacity. So the Google Pixel 3 XL has a large 6.3-inch 18 by 9 display with a Snapdragon of 845 processor, and it also has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes, and 128 gigabytes of integrated storage. So there are two versions of it, one with 64 and one with 128 gigabytes. So single rear camera has a 12.2 megapixel, which also has a dual front facing camera. So the front facing camera it has two of it and it's 12.2, and also the smaller pixel has a 5.5-inch display with a smaller 2915 milliamp battery, while the rest of the specs are the exact same as the XL model. Thankfully, wireless charging is included this year along with a set of wired Pixel Buds in the retail package, which already came out actually. So one more thing I want to say about the Pixel 3 XL is the larger 3 XL has a display with a notch, while the smaller model forgoes this design so often seen today. So the XL actually has a notch, but the regular one doesn't have the notch. They both help you shoot stunning photos, so if photography means more to you than other functions and features, you may want to consider the Pixel 3 or 3 XL. Over other smartphones in this list, the Pixel 3 starts at $799, while the Pixel 3 XL starts up at $899 for the 64 gigabyte model. So they are both powered by Android 9.0 Pie and will receive OS upgrades for 3 years. Google's newest assistant features are present along with some other Google software advances. Next on the list is the iPhone XS and XR. So Apple pushed the entry-level price of a flagship up to $1,000 last year with the iPhone X and raised the bar again this year with the most expensive flagship available in the XS Max. So the Apple iPhone XS Max has been shown to be the best all other smartphone in benchmarking testing, and Apple A12 Bionic chipset certainly blazes new trails. So it has a fabulous OLED screen, a good sized battery, and new camera software to make it a very compelling flagship. The 10X Max starts at $1,000, $1,099 for minimal storage of 64 gigabytes, and runs up to $1,449 for the 512 gigabytes model. So the 10s Max is the one I'm comparing to the 10R. So the Apple iPhone 10R differs from the 10s/10s Max with a LED screen instead of an OLED. So the 10R is actually has a lower resolution, and it doesn't have a 3D touch support, and it has a 6.1-inch display that fits in between these other two new phones. It has the same Apple 12 A12 Bionic processor, also has the same camera software and hardware as the 12MP Prime camera and other enhanced Apple features like Face Unlock. The iPhone XR, the 10R, has a larger capacity battery than the 10s and a reported battery life greater than the 10s and 10s Max. So you can purchase the 10s, 10R black, white, blue, yellow, coral, and product red. The 10R starts at $749, which is literally $250 less than the 64 gigabyte iPhone 10s. And there's also 120 gigabyte model for $800, which is likely the best deal for the 10R, with the 10s 250 gigabytes, which is actually way more expensive. So the cellular reception of the 10R is a bit worse in weak signal areas than the 10X models. But iPhones have never been able to match the cellular reception quality seen in Android phones. So iPhone is still trying to catch up with Android in terms of cellular reception. The battery life of the 10R is awesome and the camera does a great job. For many people, it is likely one of the best iPhones you can buy today, and it's more reasonable price than the 10s and the 10s Max. Sorry if I kind of confuse the 10s and 10x, the 10s and 10XR. It's just the names are kind of confusing. Next on the list is the LG V40 Thin-Q. So LG continues to release great phones that appreciate over time and in a crowded flagship market. The LG V40 may have a tough time finding its place as well, but I decided to rate it number 4. So while Huawei was one of the first major brands to launch a phone with 3 rear cameras, LG bumped that up by announcing a phone with 5 total cameras. 3 are found at the back and 2 on the front. So LG has always stood apart from others with its second rear camera, having a true wide angle lens for great landscape and large room photography. The new LG V40 keeps the wide angle camera while also adding a telephoto lens to the standard lens option. So you can do just about anything you want, including snapping one once to take 3 photos with this new flagship phone. It still has the 3.5mm headphone jack, which I love. Wireless charging, it's also shock resistant rating, and also it has a micro SD expansion card for inexpensive unlimited storage expansion. So you could easily plug in a micro USB and get more space. It also has a screen that extends nearly the full front with a notch, with incredible audio support with its boombox speaker system. It also has a 3300 mAh battery, which can pretty much last you almost about a day. And finally, on my list, the fifth is the OnePlus 6T. So the OnePlus launched the new 6T at the end of October, and for the first time ever, it launched on a US wireless carrier. The OnePlus earns a top 5 spot on my list because of the high-end specifications, the reasonable price that is hundreds less than other flagships. It has an extremely responsive performance and use of new technology. The lowest one really cost $549, and it still has 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, while the $629 model has an 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabytes of internal storage. So you will not find another phone with these great specs for these prices. The OnePlus 6T is composed of 2 pieces of Gorilla Glass 6 with a metal frame, and the design is elegant and the build quality is actually excellent. It has a lovely AMOLED 6.41-inch display with a Qualcomm Snapdragon of 845 processor with dual rear cameras. It has some level of dust and water resistance also. It has a large 3700 mAh battery with quick charge capability with excellent radio support for GSM networks. So, the display has a very small notch, similar to what we know on the Essential phone, and also runs the latest version of Oxygen OS with an extremely responsive software experience. You can even enable an all-touch interface on this phone. So, similar to the iPhone X, the in-screen fingerprint sensor works well with the face unlock option, which is handy for less secure daily unlocking of your phone.